I was boarding a flight to London when my sister called. I hadn't heard her voice in 11 years, not since she lied and Dad threw me out at 18. "He's dying," she whispered. "And he finally knows the truth." My hands were shaking so hard I dropped my phone. Everything I'd buried for over a decade came flooding back. I was standing in the airport terminal when my phone rang. Emma's name lit up the screen, and my stomach dropped. 11 years. 11 years of silence, and now this. I almost didn't answer. My finger hovered over the red button, but something made me pick up. Her voice was different. Smaller. Broken. "Mom's gone," she said, and I heard her crying. "Dad's asking for you. He keeps saying your name." I should have felt something, but I was numb. The last time I heard Dad's voice, he was calling me a thief and telling me to never come back. I was 18 years old, and my whole world ended in one night. I sat down right there in the terminal. People rushed past me, but I couldn't move. My flight to London was boarding, but suddenly London felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. Emma kept talking, kept crying, but I wasn't really hearing her anymore. I was back in that house, standing in Dad's office, watching my life fall apart. The memory hit me like a punch. I could still see his face. It was 2 weeks before graduation. I had the college acceptance letter hidden in my sock drawer because I hadn't figured out how to tell Dad yet. He wanted me to stay, work at his jewelry store, carry on the family legacy. But I wanted to study architecture in California. I wanted my own life. That night, Dad discovered $3,000 missing from his safe. The entire store went silent. He was frantic, tearing through paperwork, checking cameras. I came downstairs to see what was wrong, and that's when Emma started crying. Real tears, shaking shoulders, the whole performance. She said she'd seen me in his office earlier. Said I was acting strange, nervous. Dad looked at me, and I saw something die in his eyes before he even searched my room. When he found the receipt in my backpack, a receipt I'd never seen before, he didn't ask questions. He didn't let me explain. "Get out," he said. His voice was cold, final. "I raised you better than this." I tried to tell him I didn't do it. Tried to explain about the receipt, about Emma, about everything. But he turned his back on me. My own father turned his back, and my sister stood there watching, tears still streaming down her face. I grabbed what I could carry and left that night. I was homeless before my 18th birthday cake was even stale. I slept in my car for 2 weeks. Showered at the gym with my last bit of money. Worked double shifts at a diner just to eat. College became a distant dream. California became impossible. I was just trying to survive. But something in me refused to break. Maybe it was anger. Maybe it was pride. I saved every penny, applied to schools in London, got a scholarship. I left the country, changed my last name, and built a completely new life. No family. No history. Just me. The first few years were the hardest. Christmas alone in a tiny flat. Birthdays without a single call. I'd walk past families in parks and feel this ache that never went away. I wrote letters to Dad, dozens of them. Telling him about my life, my degree, my job. Telling him I forgave him. I sent every single one. They all came back. Return to sender. Every time. I stopped writing after the 5th year. Stopped hoping after the 7th. By year 11, I'd convinced myself I was over it. I had a good job, good friends, a life that made sense. I told people my parents were dead. It was easier than the truth. Then Emma called. The funeral was small. I stood in the back, hood up, sunglasses on. Dad didn't see me. He looked ancient. The strong man who used to lift me onto his shoulders was bent, fragile, broken. I left before anyone noticed me. 2 weeks later, Emma called again. This time, she was drunk. Slurring, crying, falling apart. I need to tell you something, she said. I can't carry it anymore. She confessed everything. The money, she took it for drugs. The receipt, she planted it. Every letter I sent, she intercepted them all, returned them before Dad ever saw them. For 11 years, she let him think I abandoned him. Let him think I never tried to reach out. He's sick, she sobbed. Really sick. The store's gone. He's broke. And I've been stealing from him for years. She'd drained everything. The business, his savings, his dignity. Everything. I hung up. Sat in my London flat staring at the wall. Part of me wanted to feel satisfied. She finally got caught. But all I felt was tired. So incredibly tired. I booked a flight the next day. Rented a car. Drove to the house I swore I'd never see again. Dad was sitting in his chair, oxygen tank beside him, looking out the window. He didn't hear me come in at first. On the table was a shoebox. I recognized it, Mom's old shoebox she kept recipes in. But when I got closer, I saw what was inside. Letters. My letters. Every single one I'd sent. All of them with stamps, addressed, sealed. None of them opened. Emma brought these yesterday, Dad said quietly. His voice was so weak. Said she kept them from me. All these years. His hands were shaking as he picked one up. The last one I'd sent, 5 years ago. He opened it slowly, carefully, like it might fall apart. I watched him read my words. My goodbye. My forgiveness. My life without him. He broke. I'd never seen my father cry. Not once in my entire childhood. But he crumpled, sobbing, clutching that letter. I looked for you, he gasped. 4 months. Years. I hired investigators. I thought you were dead. I thought I'd killed you. I stood there, frozen, watching this man I'd hated and loved and missed fall completely apart. Emma arrived an hour later. She'd brought rehab intake papers, proof of her arrests, bank statements showing what she'd stolen. She confessed everything to Dad's face. Told him about the drugs, the lies, the letters. All of it. Dad couldn't even look at her. He just kept holding my hand, kept saying I'm sorry over and over. Emma left crying. We didn't stop her. We sat together for hours. I told him about London, my job, my life. He told me about the years after I left. How he'd driven past the diner where I worked, but I was already gone. How he'd called my old phone number every week for 2 years. How he'd kept my room exactly the same. I should have believed you, he whispered. You were my daughter. I should have believed you. The anger I'd carried for 11 years started to crack. Not gone, maybe it would never be fully gone, but softer. Lighter. Dad lived for 8 more months. I moved back, took a remote job, stayed with him. We had 8 months we shouldn't have had. 8 months to remember why we loved each other. 8 months to heal what Emma had broken. He died on a Tuesday morning, holding my hand, finally at peace. Emma's in rehab now. Long-term facility. She writes sometimes. I don't always write back, but I'm trying. Forgiveness is harder with her. Maybe it always will be. Dad left me everything in his will. What little was left. But more importantly, he left me a letter. Written in his last days. It said, "You became everything I hoped you'd be, despite me. I'm so proud of you. I'm so sorry I missed it. I keep it in that old shoebox. With all the letters he never got to read. Some words can't be unsaid. Some accusations can't be taken back. My father let pride and anger destroy 11 years we'll never get back. He believed the wrong daughter, and we both paid the price. But I learned something too. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's not about saying what happened was okay. It's about refusing to let someone else's mistakes keep poisoning your life. I lost 11 years with my father. I'll never get those back. But I got 8 months at the end. 8 months where he knew the truth. 8 months where he knew I'd forgiven him. Some people never get that. If you're holding on to anger at someone you love, really think about whether you'll regret it when it's too late. Because one day, it will be too late. And you can't get that time back. Ever. My father died knowing his daughter loved him. That's more than a lot of people get. It's not everything I wanted, but it's something. And sometimes, something is enough. If this story touched your heart, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button, because every week I share real stories about family, forgiveness, and second chances. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever had to forgive someone who hurt you deeply? Your story might help someone else who's struggling right now. And please, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes we all need a reminder that it's never too late to make things right. Thank you for listening to my story.